Hi, it's Therese and I'm here for Altenew, and today we're going to create a layered laurel wreath. And this is using the layered laurel stamp set, which is a really quite a unique layering stamp set. It doesn't actually have the layers like Altenew normally do with the shadow layers within the flower petals and the leaves and things. This is actually layering up leaves on top of each other, and it creates like a whole stem of leaves, and it's just beautiful. There's two different sizes of leaf image in this stamp set, and as soon as I knew it, as soon as I saw it, I knew that I wanted to create my own wreath, and I wasn't sure how it's going to go. So I thought I'd use the smaller image, and there is a stamping guide on the back of the pack or at the blog as well, so you can check that out. Now, to make the circle a more normal circle shape, I did stamp the image out twice, but the third one here that I've stamped, I just didn't add ink to the very bottom portion of the stem, just so that it fitted a bit better. I've come in with the green inks today. I've mixed up both the sets of greens. I just thought that would be fun. I seriously wanted to do a pink and orange one, and I may just do that yet, but watch this space. This is a beautiful set and so unique with all these layering leaves. It just adds such dimension. And there's a similar set called Majestic Mistletoe, and it's very similar in the fact that it layers up the leaves as well. This is a very forgiving set. I did my base color with the evergreen, then I came with the bamboo, and then the forest glades, and my final color here is olive. And I've basically stamped all the three leaf images as they are in the packet pretty much, but to fill in these little gaps where the stems are, I'm just partially inking up the stamp with the olive color and then just coming in and stamping it. So it isn't going to be a perfect circle, but definitely very forgiving as long as you follow the lines of the main stem. It's really easy to do. I was really surprised at how easy this stamped out. I did decide to fussy cut the image out just using a pair of scissors. I left fairly wide border on it today. I just wasn't really sure where I was going to go with this. I did sort of toy with the idea of adding some sequins or some gems or enamel dots, but once I put my card together, I actually really liked the very sort of plain version, if that makes sense. Now, to cut out the inner portion of my circle, the easiest way to do that is to actually cut away like a rough center and then come in with your scissors and then just cut it like you normally would. So I'm still got my scissors holding them fairly straight and then just moving my cardstock around. The hardest part here is actually getting started. Once you've started cutting and you're on a roll, you'll be at the other end before you know it. So like I said, not a perfect wreath circle here, but beautiful layers of all these greens. I think it looked really pretty. My sentiment today comes from the Build-A-Flower Poinsettia set. I've got a panel of the pale grey cardstock, and I'm using the embossing ink from Altenew to add my sentiment. I really like the mix of fonts in this sentiment with the nice scripty word and the very kind of it's a real thin sort of capital letters in sitting beneath the script. It just adds such you know, having the two different fonts together works really well. I like it. Even if they're separate fonts, often this is when I do mix and match my fonts. That's exactly what I'll do. I have one that's scripty and then one that's nice and bold and plain. So I white heat embossed that with the pure white embossing powder, and then I'm coming in with my artist markers. These are from the set B, and they're in the purple family, really pretty colours. And I thought it'd be fun just to colour this little thing. I could have stamped it. This bow is from the Bells and Bows stamp set, and it does have a layering layering sort of stamps to fill it in with, but I know I like to colour it, and why not? I find that sometimes I find colouring very, very relaxing, and I just wanted to use the new artist markers. They are really pretty. And of course I have got the matching die for this set, so I do actually run this through my die cutting machine, and that makes it it's a much easier process and neater than me trying to cut this out. I think I need to shout myself some new painter's tape. It's barely got any stick left in it. Alright, so I've got a top fold card, and I'm adding some adhesive to the center of that, and then I can just attach my pale grey panel directly to the front of the card. I did decide to pop up the layered Laurel Wreath, and I've just used some foam dots to do that with. And because it's not a perfect circle, what I decided to do was sort of offset it, not offset the circle wreath, but offset the areas that weren't as boldly stamped with the leaves, and then I can just use my glue dots to come in and pop my little bow on the side. And that's my finished card for today. Thanks for joining me. You can find heaps more inspiration at the Altenew blog. If you haven't come from there, head over and check it out. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.